The dating market is in disarray. Femcel creators waterboard young, impressionable women with terrible dating advice and glorify promiscuity and objectifying men for their money. 6 out of 10 men are single, and 1/3 of all men have not enjoyed even a disappointing 5 seconds of awkward tear-stained coitus within the past year. And can you really blame them? How are they supposed to navigate such a volatile and thankless dating market in the modern age when all the advice society seems to give them is that toxic masculinity is bad and that women don't need men anymore? Well, worry no longer, because after countless hours of compiling data in the field and from reliable primary sources, I have at last formulated the fundamental law of modern dating to help guide young men in our ever-changing world. The law is simple. Bitches be trippin'. Now hold on. Ladies, for the 5 of you watching this video, give me a chance to articulate my beliefs before descending to the comments to hurl vague accusations of sexism and inceldom. You see, women are emotional creatures. Even they will tell you that, especially when it makes for a convenient excuse for substandard behavior. One minute they think one thing, and the next minute they'll completely change their mind. Their absolute volatility and lack of clear stances on even the most basic of issues makes them harder to pin down than a politician or a greased-up deaf guy. Take into account the classic scenario. Your girlfriend has indicated to you that she is hungry. Not this again! Well, you can't tell her to make herself food because she is a modern woman who never learned how to sustain herself, and to say such a thing would be misogynistic, and we can't have that because bitches be trippin'. So of course, it's your job to act as both her personal meal ticket and manservant, because otherwise, bitches be trippin'. You ask her what she wants, and of course, she says, I don't know, even though she's the one who brought it up in the first place, because of course she doesn't, since bitches be trippin'. You run down the list. Pizza, tacos, Mongolian horse meat, and somehow she finds a way to reject all of those options because bitches be trippin'. Which precludes her from voicing her opinion in a straightforward manner. Fast forward, you throw your hands up and defaulted to the old reliable McDingleberries. You get a double McDookie meal with fries and a drink, and she only gets a 6-piece McScrotum with no fries or drink because she's, quote, watching her figure. But before you can nestle both of your tight little booty cheeks in the chair, she's got her grubby little hands McFonneling your sodium sticks and chugging your carbonated syrup beverage, despite informing you to the contrary that no, she was not interested in having either because, say it with me, bitches be trippin'. Now let me take a quick step back to give you a little bit of scientific background to explain just how revolutionary this discovery is. You see, once you have identified a non-Y chromosome having adult individual to be a bitch, the fundamental law of modern dating will explain her behavior 100% of the time. She only dates guys who cheat on her and then asks, where are all the good men? Bitches be trippin'. She wears provocative clothing to garner male attention, then complains that she's being sexualized. Bitches be trippin'. She racks up an ungodly body count and advertises it on social media, then wonders why she isn't picked to be a wife. Bitches be trippin'. She racks up an ungodly college debt for a useless degree, then complains she can't pay for it with the wages from her Starbucks barista job. Bitches be trippin'. She says she don't need a man, then calls AAA to help replace her tire when she runs a flat even though she got all the tools in her trunk. Bitches be trippin'. She starts an OnlyFans. Bitches be trippin'. She listens to Taylor Swift. Bitches be trippin'. She expresses an opinion. Bitches be trippin'. She breathes air. Bitches be trippin'. She says she don't like Rush Hour because the jokes are mean and hurtful.
What's up, my nigga?
Man, throw that bitch out the window because bitches be trippin'. Now, it does have to be noted that there is nuance in applying this law properly. Remember when I said that once a non-Y chromosome having adult individual has been identified as a bitch, the fundamental law would explain her behavior? Well, that's because there are 2 main categories of non-Y chromosome having adult individuals: bitches and women. Before the sexual revolution, circa 1967, the distribution of adult females in America looked something like this, where there were, of course, bitches, but they were in limited supply, while the vast majority were real women worthy of marriage. Slowly over time, however, as ideas such as hookup culture, fourth wave feminism, girl boss propaganda, hoe phases, social media, and the vilification of the family and masculinity became increasingly widespread, the supply of real women dwindled as they were converted into bitches. It is difficult to quantify just what fraction of adult females today can be considered bitches as opposed to true women, so tread carefully. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Well, those are just anecdotes, you handsome giga-chad of a sexist. Stop being mean to women. In reality, it's actually the cold, hard data that led me to make such a landmark discovery, and I can prove it. Recent surveys have shown that as many as half of Gen Z girls have issues with anxiety. A quarter of girls above the age of 18 are on antidepressants. Half of all marriages end in divorce, and single motherhood is at an all-time high. Body dysmorphia and social media usage are skyrocketing. All of these things affect one's ability to act rationally and make good life choices, and that's all on top of girls' natural emotional volatility described earlier. Do you think that an average phone-addicted, pill-popping, depressed, anorexic girl from a broken home is at all capable of being a stable life partner? Yeah, I didn't think so. I might be making jokes, but there's a very depressing undercurrent to all this. Our girls are not doing well. They're victims of society just as much as men are, and they're being led astray by technology and media that constantly gives them bad advice that fundamentally alters the trajectory of their very lives. How many bitches started tripping not because they were born to be the bitches, but society made them the bitches? How many happy, stable, healthy women could have led fulfilling lives had it not been for the toxic values of our modern culture? I'd like to close this one out with an example. This is Tom Brady. You may know him from the smash hit television show, Football. Tom is known as the greatest contestant the show has ever had, leading some to call him the Ken Jennings of football. He had a long and storied career, winning multiple Employee of the Year awards and earning millions in the process. Not only was he successful in his career, but in his love life too, marrying Brazilian model Gisele, with whom he had 2 children. With his career showing no signs of slowing down, even in its latter stages, rare news broke about his private life. Gisele was divorcing Tom. She said he was neglectful of her needs and spent too much time away from his family chasing glory in his career, which of course was what allowed him to marry a woman of her caliber in the first place. Years go by and Tom says nothing, until it was revealed recently that they divorced because she cheated on him with, of all people, her jiu-jitsu instructor. Her reason? He made her do it by not spending enough time with her. He pushed her into the arms of another man when he didn't sacrifice another few years of his career to be with her. Instead of waiting 3 years to be with her man for 30 years, she blew it all up on a whim. It was his fault though. He should have known that he was supposed to give it all up the second she asked him, that when she started winding down her career, he needed to do the same, even though he was still in his prime. How could he possibly expect a fully grown woman to delay gratification and remain faithful and supportive in the face of such incredible odds? Even when paired with one of the most desirable men in all of America. Tall, handsome, kind, accomplished, loyal, family-oriented. She could not control her erratic nature and instead opted to ruin her happy family for short-term fulfillment. Gisele's actions prove once and for all that bitches be trippin'.